Welcome to another edition of Hiking Trails and Mortgage Fails, where I take you on a hike and I give you a little bit of mortgage information. So last week I took the family to Oahu and we did a hike there. We did the Makapu'u Trail, the Makapu'u, I hope I'm saying that right, lighthouse. Been to Oahu many times in the past, and most of the trails that we had done and the hikes in the past were lush with canopy trees and shade and waterfalls. The Moana Falls, the Waimea Falls, a lot of the interior of the island. It was a lot of fun. This time we decided, hey, let's go to the eastern side so we get some panorama views of the oceans and take a trail. And we saw this one on the internet, so we said, hey, let's give it a shot. Little disappointed in that the trail itself was paved the entire way. Couple notes, though, if you do this hike, make sure you wear a hat, sunscreen, bring plenty of water, as there is no shade at all. So you're in the sun all the time. It is pretty when you get there. You get to the top of the peak, and so you're looking at a lot of different colors in the ocean. You can actually see the Chinaman's Hat, which is an island, looks like a Chinaman's Hat. You can see from Kailua all the way down to Hanauma Bay. And all in all, a decent hike. It's pretty moderate except for the excessive heat, and you probably have to pause every once in a while. Heavily traveled, so there are a lot of people, but all in all, decent hike. Mortgages. We talked about applications in the past and the three different factors that go into an application. We have that as the collateral, the capacity, and the credit. We talked about the credit. Now let's talk about capacity. And capacity is basically, can you afford to make that monthly payment? And what we do, it's a very simple factor. If you're an employee of a corporation or of a company, we take your gross monthly income and we just divide that against your liabilities. And those liabilities will be your credit card payments, your car payment, student loans, and then that new mortgage payment also, which would consist of your principal and interest payment, as well as your taxes and your insurance. As long as that factor is under 50%, you're probably going to get an approval. Now, there's always mitigating factors that will also come into play, so make sure you're aware of that. If you have a good loan to value, maybe some assets, they will have a factor in making the decision as well. So that's capacity. On self-employed, it's a little bit different. So we do take the same ratio, but we drive your income from it, obviously your corporate or your pass-through income, your K1s. And so it is a little bit different factor. We don't take your gross, it's basically your net after your deductions. But again, it's the same factoring after that. So be aware of that. Capacity is very important. It is one of the three factors when determining whether you're going to qualify for that mortgage or not. Thanks again for joining us. And give a shout out to our sponsors again, All Trails and Lowermortgage.net. Until next time, I'm Mark Gurich.